It's the finally Friday edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. Thanks for tuning in on this Friday afternoon, and it's been a decent day today. This will be the warmest day that we have until probably February, and I'll talk about those long-range temperatures in just a second. Well, speaking of temperatures, let me plot up the temperatures here quickly this afternoon, because it is interesting. We've got kind of a dividing line right in the middle of Ohio, right along I-71 between the mild air and the cold air. It's in the 30s in eastern Ohio, southeastern Ohio, and western Pennsylvania as well. But then it's well down into the 20s. Cincinnati, Dayton, Lima, heading up towards Sandusky, and that colder air continues to push east. And where the air is cold enough, of course, it's been snowing. And this band of snow in west central Ohio now earlier produced an inch or two and some slick travel down towards Cincinnati and into Dayton. Actually got what appears to be maybe a little rain trying to push in right now. A lot of this is just not even reaching the ground. It might be a sprinkle or a flurry. Not a big deal there. A lot of the action that's out here in west central Ohio is going to miss us to the west. That's heading more towards Sandusky and Cleveland over the next few hours. We have to keep an eye on what's going on down to the south. This band of snow in Kentucky is what is likely to start pushing north as we go towards the late afternoon into this evening, and that will likely give us some snow. We're not talking about a big accumulation, but enough to cause some travel headaches, I think, by the end of the day today, so we'll have to watch out for that, and I'll show you what the simulated radar should look like here in just a second. Elsewhere, our next system coming onto the playing field up here is what's going to cruise our way for Saturday night. Another Alberta Clipper system that won't bring much snow, but maybe just enough to cause a few issues for the middle of the weekend. Notice how cold it is across the Midwest this afternoon. Lots of single digits and teens out here. They had freezes and they had a frost this morning down in Florida, where it's only recovered to the lower 60s at this hour. It's not too bad out in the Rockies, but that's going to change there as well. All right, let's hope this works. I want to show you what the future radar will look like as we head through time here. If my browser will behave for me. Let me shut this down. And what I want to do here is show you what the simulated radar looks like for the rest of the afternoon and heading into this evening. There we go. That right there. All right, here's what the radar should look like at about 5 o'clock this evening. We got our band of precipitation pushing in from the south, and this will be kind of squally. You'll go from absolutely nothing to maybe a quick heavy snow squall in a matter of minutes with this. Here's 6 o'clock this evening, and this is when things could get kind of hairy right around the Ohio-PA border here, with a quick dumping of a half an inch, 3/4 of an inch of snow, causing some slick spots when a lot of people are heading home just after sunset. Here's 7 o'clock and then 8 o'clock, and this is when things will start to improve across the valley with the heaviest snow squall activity now pretty much east of I-79 by about 8 o'clock this evening. So, I think our trouble zone, if we're going to get a quick half an inch or even an inch and a real quick deterioration in the road conditions, I think it's going to be around sunset and just after. So we're talking 5, 6, 7 o'clock. That's going to be our trouble spot. Beyond that, just flurries, I think, for the rest of the night. Here's the simulated radar tonight at 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Flurries for the most part, nothing more than an additional dusting at that point. So again, our threat for getting a real quick half an inch to an inch of snow is there this evening, maybe just after sunset. So we'll keep you apprised on that situation. All right, the weekend's coming up, and I think Saturday will kind of be in between systems for much of the day. Here's Saturday afternoon's map. Little nose of high pressure coming up from the south, just enough to shut off the flurry machine, I think, for the midday and the afternoon on Saturday. But this next Clipper system definitely bears watching. The center of it by Saturday night will be right over Cincinnati. With that kind of a track and the fact that it's going to be weakening some, I don't think we get a ton of snow out of this, certainly. And I think the best chance overall of seeing an inch, inch and a half, maybe 2 inches, is going to be south of Youngstown, probably south of Route 30, more towards the I-70 corridor. That's your best chance of getting more than an inch out of this for Saturday night. Here's Sunday then. That Clipper pushes away, but another little system approaching from the north. This is another cold front. It's up here. This is actually the Arctic front that's going to usher in cold weather for the rest of the month. By Sunday afternoon, it's pushing into the Great Lakes, and that could bring some more flurries to the valley Sunday afternoon, Sunday night. Beyond that, we're not looking at much precipitation next week. Flurries, sure. little lake enhancement on the snow shower activity, sure. Here's next Tuesday, and downwind of the lakes, these blobs of green indicate scattered snow showers. The snow belts, are going to get some moderate accumulations, I think, for next week. But overall, the big story is not the snow, it's the cold. You'll notice just no big storms on the horizon for next week. All right, about that Clipper system for Saturday night, here's the European snowfall accumulation for that Clipper Saturday night. And it kind of backs up what I was saying, that there's going to be some places down towards Columbus that get close to an inch, maybe even a little over an inch out of this. Your chance of getting an inch definitely decreases, say, north of Route 30, which is kind of right in here. Around Youngstown, the European model gives us about a half an inch, and this is supported by most of the other computer models. So I think our forecast for this next Clipper Saturday night is going to be half an inch to perhaps an inch. I think a lot of us will be closer to a half an inch out of that. All right, temperatures. I posted this on social media earlier. This is the temperature anomaly forecast for the period from the 21st through the 31st. In other words, the last 10 days of January. And it looks pretty darn cold. Temperature anomalies, when you average it all out for those 10 days, in the purples here, that's getting down into the -8 zone. Basically what this is going to pan out to be like is this. Notice the bottom chart here. That's what I want you to pay attention to. A lot of days with highs in the teens coming up. And this is just one model, but again, it has the support of many other of our computer models as well. So from Tuesday right through the end of the month, we're talking about a lot of days in here where high temperatures will be in the teens, low temperatures will probably be in the single digits most of the time. This probably will not feature the kind of severe cold that we had for a couple of days last week. This outbreak does not look like it's going to give us a good chance of seeing a -12 with wind chills at -35, but this one will last longer than the one we had last week. That was kind of a quick shot. It was bad, but it was only a couple days. This is a period of well below average temperatures that will probably last a good 10 days, perhaps even 2 weeks, and take us right up to about Groundhog Day. So the heart of winter is coming up. We have not seen the last of the nasty cold. We'll probably, when it's all said and done, this 10-day period at the end of January will go into the record books as the coldest stretch of this entire winter overall. That's weather for Weather Geeks on this Friday. As always, check out my forecast tonight on 21 News at 6 and 11. Mike Joyce has you covered this weekend on the weekend evening shows, and I will see you right back here Monday afternoon. Have yourself a great and safe weekend.